Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michala, and today I'm going to do an update on my planner and journal ecosystem, because if you're anything like me, you have big plans at the beginning of the year, and then as you settle into things, you change your system and your ideas and you find out what works for you. So I will briefly go over each of my journals and what's working and what's not working. And then if you are interested in seeing a more in-depth flip through of any of them, I'm hoping you guys will give me feedback and comment and let me know what you want to see. But yeah, I'll do a little overview of each of them and what I'm liking and not liking and a new addition. So let's light this candle and we'll get started. And there we go. With that lit, I think I will start with my planners and just do a brief overview. And then, spoiler, this is the journal I've been liking the most, so I think I will save this for last. So let's make a little bit of space. So this is my pocket filofax. It is the Malden cover, and it's I think it's called burgundy. I always forget the exact color, but it's obviously the red one. And inside, my cover is the same, and I've been using this for my planner and my wallet because it is one of the wallet style filofaxes. I have a couple coins in here for if I need those. So I carry this with me in my purse or my backpack, and it functions as my wallet. I have my card holder in the back, which, I won't show you the cards, but that's back there. And I was doing all of my planning for work and life in this planner, but my first update or big change is that I actually quit one of my 2 jobs in January. Just honestly, it was getting to be a lot for me to juggle, and we were kind of in a place financially where I didn't need to work 2 jobs anymore. So that's been a big life change for me. And with that big change, I've been trying to focus on my art endeavors more. So I've actually been using this wallet planner for planning all of my life events. This I haven't changed yet too much. I think I added this bear sticker since I last flipped through this, and I have this ornament sticker still, which now that it's feeling more like spring, I plan to freshen this up. Actually, you know what? Maybe we could do that right now. But yeah, with me quitting one of my jobs, I don't need the same things from a planner that I did when I had 2 jobs. It was my planner's main function was to keep my 2 jobs organized, as you can hopefully imagine, to keep my hours tracked for both of those jobs. Both were remote jobs. I do like this teddy bear sticker, but I think I'll just put this spring colored moth for now. Anyway, and with my shift focusing to one job, I just found that I was able to focus on my life more and planning things for like my kids' school and our lives. My kids are very young, but my son is just becoming the age where he's doing sports and we have a lot more activities. So this is where I keep track of all of those events. These are my monthlies I made, undated view of the month. I showed these last time, but I've still been liking to use these. I did not prep any of these journals beforehand, so I really wanted to show you exactly how I've been using them. And you can see that my key, if you remember, I have this color-coded key to help me pick a priority for each day, and the color dot represents my primary focus, and the letter I write on the dot represents my secondary focus. So again, with having 2 jobs and having multiple hobbies, and I have an art business on the side, and with my kids and our busy lives, it was just getting to be so many things that I could not do all in one day, but I could always do 1 or 2 things each day and do them well. Obviously, there's going to be side things I do as well, like random chores or random other things, but this method really helped me to stay balanced in what I was focusing on, because without this, I felt like it would be really easy for me to focus on like work for like 3 days in a row and my kids after I was done with work and then forgets the stuff like my house, which is like chores, essentially cleaning my house is what yellow is, and then hobbies and my YouTube is the orangish red. And so just pre-planning how I wanted my week to be balanced was really helpful. And in January, I just did my primary focus, represented by the colored dots, and I didn't write a secondary focus. But then in February, I've gotten back into writing a secondary focus because I find it's really helpful. I feel like this is part of how and why I was able to quit my second job, is because this really allowed me to see how work was kind of just overtaking everything and I wasn't able to structure my life the way I wanted it to be. So yeah, I won't go spend too much time on this, but I just wanted to say I've been liking these pages a lot, and I just went ahead and kept all the months in here because they're printed on my home printer on Tomoe river paper that I got, so they're very thin, so they don't take up too much room, so I just keep all the months up here. And then I have these calendar views, which are where I plan everything. So I believe I did dots in December for when I was filming videos, but then I kind of fell off of doing that, although I did like that, so I might do that again. In January, I just decorated for winter and also kept track of any important dates that are something I need to show up at. I put in red, so something that I'm going to physically go to, or like a marketing call that I needed to be on the call on time, obviously. I put in red, and then things that are just like tasks I wanted to do, like post my reading journal flip through video, that I wrote in blue. Then here is my February. I feel like I did a little bit of like a haphazard decoration of it, but I still like it actually. This sticker with the cute ducks. This one that's a stamp edge, but you can't really see it super well. I guess I'll hold it closer so you can see. It has like a stamp edge to it, if you can see that. It's just clear. So I call them stamp stickers. And then this little icon, those are from different sticker rolls from the same brand called King Soda Gym that I got off JetPens. And then this flower pot and this coffee are from a sticker roll from the washi tape shop that I showed in my recent spring stationery haul. But yeah, I highlighted through a week where my son was on winter break, and I put important dates again, all things that I was going to, appointments and birthday parties and things. And then I've set up March to do the same. So I don't have as many dates in here yet, but I have a couple appointments in here. So I've been really liking these monthlies. And then my trackers, I've also been really liking my habit trackers. I went ahead and kept December's in here so I could reference. And then I have a period tracker that I don't know if I had in here last time. I track my period on an app, but I like to come in here so I can have a at a glance view. So I still need to update this a little bit, but I used this in my personal size filofax last year and really liked it, so I just printed one smaller for here. And I will mention that part of why I track it in my planner and on my phone is because I have PCOS, and sometimes my period is very normal, but sometimes it's not, and it really helps me to track every specific thing physically and on my phone, just so I have it in more than one place. And so like if I go to an appointment with my doctor, I usually have this with me. I obviously have my phone too, but I feel like this is really helpful to show the doctor because it's all like right here and easy to see. But yeah, so I've been liking that. Here's another monthly habit tracker that I made, and I did change some of the things I'm tracking, but again, I can go in that more in depth if anybody's interested. And then in this little flip out, I'm trying to do a line a day of just things I'm grateful for or things I enjoyed. And I was doing a really good job with this, and then I kind of fell off. But again, I'm just, getting into the flow of what my planners and journals will be like this year. And I hope to come back and fill out this and stick with it. But I'm just kind of trying not to be too strict on anything. If I'm not enjoying it, then I'm just not doing it. And then I have my other trackers in here, which I have been doing. I have these little calendar pieces of paper that all came in a little pad, and I have several of them. So that's how I have more than one February, and behind I kept my January. This is my mood tracker, and this is my water tracker. And I went over my keys for this in my last filofax flip through video if you are interested. Something I think I will add to this planner is a game tracker for the video game Fields of Mystria. If you saw a long time ago, I had a tracker for that game. It's kind of like Stardew Valley. But anyway, I had a tracker for that in my traveler's notebook way back. But I keep this wallet with me all the time, so I feel like this would be a really good place to put a little video game tracker. It's just a game where you collect a lot of different things and fish and butterflies, and so I have a little tracker to help me just like remember what I did when I last played and to remember what I'm like working on. So I thought that would be fun to add in here. And then I have some video ideas for YouTube and some illustration ideas for my illustration business that I'm working on. So I've been an abstract artist for a long time and I have a business for that, but with quitting one of my jobs, something that I would really like to pursue is being an illustrator. I used to illustrate, I want to say in like 2020, and then I kind of fell off of it. I just had little kids and had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm trying to get back into illustrating, so I've been keeping a list of ideas, and I plan to hopefully launch an Etsy with my illustrations. And that's pretty much it for what I have in here. I have this little stiff divider and a couple to-do lists, pieces of paper back here, and then my cards. But I thought maybe this would be a good segue, my illustration ideas, to show you this new addition to my setup. This is a MeePlus planner in the personal size, and this was kindly sent to me. They put my name on it right there, which I thought was so nice, and they let me pick a lot of the finishes. This little M that they added on here was a surprise to me. I didn't know they were going to do this, but yeah, this was sent to me, and I had not heard of this brand until they reached out to me, and then all of a sudden I started seeing them everywhere, and I was really grateful that they reached out to me because my channel is not that big, so I was just really grateful that they were willing to send me this because I was really curious to try it out, but I had just gotten this filofax. So at first I was like, how would I use this if I have my filofax? And then, like I said, I quit one of my jobs and I found myself really wanting to split out my work from my life. And so what I've been using this planner for is all of my work stuff because it is so sleek and like professional looking. That's something I really like about it. It's been perfect so far to keep track of my work. So this is often in my purse, like I said, and so sometimes when I sit down at my desk, this isn't with me, it's in my bag I last had, so obviously I can go get it, but I've been finding that I keep this by my bedside or in my purse, and then this one I keep at my desk, and so far I've been loving it. This is a personal size little pocket folder I already had that I had in my personal filofax rings, but I just moved it over to this and I just have a Pokemon card just because I think it's really pretty illustration, and I have these dot stickers which I use to mark off the months when we're done with them, so I'm actually going to do that for January. I've still been settling into this planner. I just got it a few weeks ago, but I've been surprised at how much I'm loving it, so I'm going to use one of these light purple stickers just to mark the month is over. And yeah, I just wanted to flip through this with you because I was really impressed at all the inserts that they sent me with this cover. So I have the gold rings and they are really small millimeters, so it's really nice and sleek and flat, which I find really nice for work because again, I'm someone who likes to decorate and put a lot of like fluff in my planners, and that was becoming kind of overwhelming for work. But I feel like this setup has been really clean and simple and helped me stay organized for my now one job, but my artistic pursuits as well. So I'm kind of viewing my illustration as a business I'm starting, and I'm keeping track of it in here. So they sent me this yearly overview, which has a line for each day, which I thought was really great. I love the color coding, and then it has a review panel over here. If you have any ideas how I could use this, let me know, because I'm thinking since it's in my work one, I want it to be something related to work, or maybe I thought I might keep track of illustrations I've done in here or something. But yeah, let me know if you have any ideas for this. And then something I love, and I put in a blank one so I could show you guys because I didn't want to show you all my finance stuff, but this is my yearly finance overview. They sent me several of these inserts. So again, this is a blank one, but I have one that I've been filling out. And this is so nice. It has a spot for total income, total expense, savings, remaining, and a column for each month. And then on the back, it has financial goals, memo, quarterly reviews, one for each quarter. And yeah, I thought this was like, I don't know, this is something I've never seen before, this type of insert. And again, I'm not going to show you mine with all of my finance stuff in it, but I wanted to show you because this has been really helpful for me. Also in January, my husband filed for us our own business, so we have a official LLC now, and this planner has been really helpful with that whole new business side of it. We were just working for ourselves as contractors, and now we have our proper own business, so this has been really nice for me to keep track of finances. And then I also got a lot of these habit trackers, and I decided to make this one different than my daily habits of like drinking water and whatnot that I do in my pocket planner. This one I use for what I'm viewing as like work-related things. So even though these are, I put hobbies, these are hobbies that I feel fuel my art business. So I put illustrating, journaling, photography, painting/drawing, and scrapbooking. These are all hobbies that I feel are essential for building my own business, so I just thought it was nice to track them here. There's plenty of more space, so I might add other things, and I went ahead and highlighted the columns so I could more easily see, where I was tracking everything. So I could more easily see where I was because I get lost following lines easily. I don't know why. So highlighting them helped me keep track. And then on the back, there's just more, so I can use the back side for next month. But yeah, I've been using this for February and so far really liking it. And then I have these financial planner pages, but let me just flip to an empty one so I don't have to cover stuff. But yeah, you can put the date over in this column, the item, and then plus or minus amount in this column. And this has been really nice for me to keep track of my small business. At this point, I have my abstract art, I'm starting my illustrations, and I do YouTube. So I think this is just a really nice place to keep track of any ins or outs related to my businesses. I put this little sticker on this divider. I also really like the dividers that came with this planner. They have little leather tabs up here and they feel really nice. And then I have some lists in the back that I use for things like groceries. And this just came about naturally. I think if I were to divide it in my brain, a grocery list would fit in this planner categorically, like it would just fit in my life planner better. But essentially what I do is I keep this planner at my desk, which is where I do my work, but that's in the mornings. So if in the mornings I need to go ahead and make a grocery list, I love that I have this larger area to do that in because this planner is a little small for like long lists. You can definitely make it fit, but I've been liking having extra space. And then another thing I have on the same list sheets are things for work that I went ahead and covered up with these sticky notes. But social logins, I keep track of a lot of social media accounts. So I have social media logins and I have card info, which are like business cards I'm allowed to order things on. So this has been really nice. I put in this little column, I put what account it is, and then I put like the information for the login in here. And then I have another one that I already flipped past for addresses of cafes because I work for a coffee company and sometimes I need the addresses to ship them different design things. So these have been really helpful just to stay organized. And again, I like that it's really clean. I'm doing a lot less decoration, which I know might be more like boring to look at, but I've been really enjoying having just a really simple place to make lists and having a little more room than my pocket planner. And again, because this is so sleek and small, I took this with me on a work trip and it was just really easy to carry everywhere. I still had this for my wallet in my bag, but for pulling out for meetings and note-taking, this looks really sleek and professional, and it's really easy to not lose my work notes and things. I was finding myself pinning in index cards for extra notes in my pocket planner, so I feel like this has just worked for me so far. I know it's probably not the most practical for some people. I know other people are great at keeping all of their planning in one planner, but this has just been what's working for me. And I just wanted to show you guys. These daily planner inserts are also really nice. I've been using these a lot to just sit down and plan my day. And I just keep a few of them in here at a time to keep it sleek and slim. And then I just take them out when I'm done. So I don't use this tracker right now because I have my water tracker in this planner, but I just make a little plan for my day, and I go ahead and include any life things as well as work things just so that I know when I'm able to work and get things done. I go ahead and write in some of like my schooling with my son and things like that. Just whatever is on my mind as I'm sitting down to work for the day. And then for some of them, I didn't block out time. I just wrote lists. And sometimes I put things that are more, again, personal or life, like doing laundry, but that was because I needed to do laundry to get ready to go on a work trip. So I'm just really using them however comes naturally as far as my planners. And I have a couple more daily inserts, and then the monthly inserts in here. Again, I'm keeping really simple, and I keep track of work meetings and overall goals that I want to get done that week. So this has been really helpful. So I needed to plan emails for work. I needed to do a website update. I needed to order graphics. And this is something for my illustration business that I wanted to order samples of some printed goods for my illustration business to get that started. And so again, if I put everything related to my life in here and work, and my side businesses, it was just getting way too full. So far, I really like having the 2 planners. It's working really well for me. I haven't even set up for March yet. I'm just really going simple and easy. And then the weeklies, I'm using very similarly to how I was using them in here. I just have more space. So I took the weeklies out of this planner because I think that was the biggest thing, is I use the weeklies to keep track of my hours. I write the time I start working and the time I stop working, and then the main tasks I was doing. And I just found myself, again, running out of room sometimes in my pocket planner and then having to like clip in an index card or something. And this just works a lot better. I even had notes I took on a meeting on a different piece of paper, and I just punched holes and put it in here. So yeah, that's how I've been using these. And I put like my top priorities under this area, and then daily I keep track of my hours. And then in the back here, I have not been using these yet, but I really wanted to show you guys because I thought these were so handy. If you see here, it's a review sheet, and I thought this would be great if you wanted to print a book cover or a movie cover or whatever. But for those who like my reading journal videos, I was thinking if you don't want to keep a whole reading journal, like a big bullet journal like I do, this would be so handy for doing like a little book review, for printing like the book cover here, checking that it's a book, and writing a review. So I put these in here just to show you guys. I haven't been using them right now. And then on the back, there's like quotes and things, and you could maybe decorate this side of it and put a quote and then just have the review on this side. I thought these were really cool. I did not know, again, these were sent to me, and I did not know what was going to be sent to me, but I'm so pleased with everything. The quality of this leather, it's Italian leather, and it's really nice. I love the color I picked out. My cat sat on this, so it has cat fur. And then this is the elastic band closure, and I got the one with a pen loop, the larger size pen loop, so it can fit my trusty Pilot Friction pen with the 3 colors. Again, it's erasable and has 3 colors, so that just helps me color code different things. I think I'll get another one because I use this pen a lot. And I really like that it fits nicely in this pen loop because it was not fitting in my filofax one. It's a bit large, so I can sometimes like just shove it in here somewhere. But I really like that it fits easily in this planner. But yeah, that's how I've been using this, and so far I really love it. I actually love this cover so much. I was thinking about getting, this is the personal size like I said, so whatever the next larger one is, I'm really interested to get another one, like a A5 or something, because I think I want to use it for memory keeping, which brings me to my first big failure, I guess you could say. So I just did a video not too long ago where I show my traveler's notebook and that I filled up an insert, and it is like the weekly plus memo insert, and I love that insert. But I just want to be honest with you guys that I have not been using my traveler's notebook. I think I just have too many things going on, and I love my traveler's notebook and I really want to use it, but let's make some space first. But I just haven't been using this, and so at first I feel like I was really hard on myself for that. I know I make videos showing my traveler's notebook, and I really do love it, and I've had it for a year now, so not that long in terms of a journal. I definitely am not done with it. I love a lot of things about the traveler's notebook. I love how the leather feels. I love the way I personalized it. I love this insert where I do collage style kind of like memory keeping updates about the month. And then like I did a couple of these like mood boards for how I want to decorate my bedroom. This one I did for fashion I was thinking about. And then I've done some photography, like where I print off photography and then write about it. So kind of like these personal art entries. And I really like it, but I'm just finding myself not having time to come in here. This is a watercolor insert that I still want to use. And then this is my new Weekly Plus memo. And I mean, I'll just show you guys. I haven't done anything in the monthlies, and then I was keeping track. These days were covered in my previous Weekly Plus memo, so I started here, and then I just was not keeping up with it very easily at all. And I think something about it just wasn't like resonating with me as much. So I think I will still use my traveler's notebook for something. If you have any ideas of something that I could come in here and do, I might just keep it as my just like kind of creative space and do my watercolor insert in here. But I think the biggest thing about the traveler's notebook inserts is that they don't lie flat, and the skinnier, taller size of it. I don't know, but I tried really hard to stay up to date with printing off my photos and everything. And as you can see, what I just flipped through, I don't even have January's photos in here yet. So I don't want to waste my Weekly Plus memo inserts. I don't like wasting things, so I'm going to try to find a way to use them. But my current thoughts for memory keeping are that I kind of want to just do something more similar to my reading journal. That has worked really well for me because I only go in there monthly. And I find that that's not too much for me to keep up with, right? I read my books during the month, and then I just go into my reading journal once a month and update it and do new spreads. And I'm kind of thinking for memory keeping, I want to do something that's monthly instead of weekly. So again, I love my traveler's notebook, and I love the Weekly Plus memo concept I was doing. I love my finished one and flipping through that. And I'll just show you. I mean, I've shown this before, but so I really like writing on the one side in the photos, but I'm thinking because I'm doing tracking elsewhere, like in many places, I don't really need this for that. I'm writing about my days in this journal. And yeah, I just don't really need this anymore, but I do like, especially like, let me show you. This, the monthly favorites kind of spread. So I was thinking of just doing a bullet journal or a ring binder with monthly spreads for memory keeping, because I think that would be something I can keep up with. It's just once a month coming in and doing a scrapbook style, collage style spread in a bullet journal or like a ring binder, like I said. So anyway, I have ideas for what I'm going to do moving forward for memory keeping. But that brings me to this journal, which is the cover I made for my B6 Forest Planner, and I've added another journal in here since then. And I've really been loving this one. I'll show you. I have my same photos in this pocket folder, and then I have annotating book supplies like tabs and clear post-its in here. I have my Pilot Metro pen because that's what I write with the most in here. I have this little moleskin that I'll just be honest, I have not written anything. If I write something in here, I've taken it out because it has perforated pages. But I like to keep this for like scratch notes and like poem ideas if I'm not ready to write them out in this notebook. But yeah, I just keep this in here. I don't really have anything in there right now. And then here's how I decorated my cover. I taped this postcard in here. I don't even remember where this postcard came from anymore, but I just taped that in here. This is just put in here with washi tape, so my idea is that I would change this every so often when I have something new I want to put here. I just put this little book sticker from Maragona Suli and these number stickers. For the first spread, I just did this kind of like sticker dump of some stickers I really liked that I wasn't sure where I would use them. I was having a lot of like paralysis with this journal being new and blank, and I just kind of wanted to start putting things in here so that I wouldn't feel so precious about it. So I really like how this turned out. And then it had these columns, which I don't have April stamped here. This is actually May bleeding through. My stamps were kind of messy, and I realized I have 2 August stamps and not an April, so I don't have the stamps for April, so I'll just like write it in here. And I'm going to still try to clean up the messiness with like a white pen, but a messy journal is a loved journal, so I think it's fine. And I wanted to show you that I'm using these columns to keep track of book stats so I don't forget them so easily. So I still document everything in my reading journal, but this is where I keep track of my progress and my updates on reading day to day so that I don't forget. So in January, I wrote total books, 4 total pages, which I haven't tabulated yet, but I need to. How many were audio and how many were ebook, my average rating, and then down here I put the books and their ratings, and at the bottom I made a spot for the books I bought. So that way when I go fill in my reading journal, I have everything written out here and I can add things in here one at a time as opposed to doing them all in like bulk, which I mean, I haven't done February's yet, so I'm trying to still get in the habit of filling this out as I go, but it's easy to do because I'll show you after these monthly columns are my monthly spreads, and I've been keeping track of when I'm reading what book with this highlighted area through the days where I'm reading, and then the key is over here. So this beige was me reading Finding Grace. This green was Harp of Kings. This orange was a reread of a book called It Works. This light blue, which is not showing up super well on camera, but there's light blue here, is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And this peachy nude is Holiday Romance. So those are the books I read in January, and I think I'll write January up here because what I did for February is February didn't start until this Sunday over here, so I had all this space. So I wrote February, and then I've been doing the same thing. I just keep a key over here and then highlight the days to correlate with the books I'm reading. And so far, I've been really liking this. I can even skip a day if I didn't read at all. And yeah, this is similar to that fold-out calendar view I had in my 2025 reading journal, but that took so much time to set up. And then this is working the same way, but it's much easier. And it's in this B6 smaller journal that I carry with me a lot. So I think that's really nice. And I have a little gold tab just to tab out where I am in the monthlies. Haven't set up this one yet for March, but we'll do that soon. And then over here are the weekly layouts, weekly/daily. So it's a week preview up here, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you get one more spread for the week of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I started off, again, experimenting how I want to use this. I put a book stamp for every day I read to kind of track my streaks, I guess you would say, of reading. I wrote in here the book I was reading, like Alchemized, and then finished Alchemized. I printed off a book cover so I could have something visual, and I printed off these photographs I took. I think I was just trying out how I wanted to use this. And my goal with this was to just write every day, whether it be a poem or write about the book I'm reading. Not necessarily a summary of my day, just writing something every day. To put pen on paper and get back into the swing of just journaling and writing, and kind of trying to, I have a stream of consciousness journal that I've had since I did the Artist's Way book. I'm forgetting the author's name right now, but the Artist's Way is a popular book, and the author recommends doing morning pages, which is where you do 3 pages of stream of consciousness. And I've had a journal where I do that on and off for a really long time. I've filled up several journals and I just get a new one, and they're nothing fancy and very like messy handwriting and all that. So I have those if I want to do stream of consciousness, but that's what this book is. I put my latest stream of consciousness journal back here, but this is really where I want to write something. Doesn't have to be crazy, but a little more significant, if that makes sense, more like how I'm feeling each day or a poem. So that's what I've been doing, and so far I'm really loving it. I love the Tomoe River paper in here. I get why people love hobonichis because this paper is so fun to flip through. And you can see I stopped doing the stamp to track when I was reading. I just felt I had so many other ways I was tracking that, like the monthly spreads. So I just didn't really do that stamp every day. I didn't have it with me every day. But I did write in here the book I was reading, and I started putting games I was playing in here too. I used the little side column to also put anything I'm reading, listening to, watching, and I really like that. I feel like that's a really nice place to put it. And then I've been decorating a little bit, and then as I carried on using it, some of these weekly reviews I didn't really put much, but I've still been really liking the daily spreads. I started coming in with my black pen, just this Uniball 1 pen. If I was writing in a day's spot after the fact. Does that make sense? So the fountain pen ink are writings from that day, and then if I come back in here later and write something on a different date, I do it in this black pen just to kind of help me remember that that's written after the fact. I just sometimes, if I see empty space, I kind of want to come in here and write something. And that's another way I've really been liking it. It's just like no rules. If I want to come in here and write something later, I can. I'm using this pen, like I said, to help me remember that I wrote it after the fact. But other than that, I've just been doing whatever in here and having a lot of fun. I layered some stickers that were really spring looking. I have this little swan icon sticker up here I really liked, and this little bird. This spread, I never wrote anything in here, so this is probably I'll come in here later and write something in my black ink there. But yeah, I've really been liking this. This is like, I think, an example where I was really getting into the swing of it. I decorated up here a little bit and also put the books that I was either starting or finishing, playing around with some of these stickers. And then this spread, I received an order that I showed in my stationery haul, and it came with this little like calendar page that I taped in here because I thought it was pretty, and underneath I put the thank you note, and then I just put some nature stickers in here. And yeah, I started, essentially this is like my diary and media tracker, and so far I've really been loving it. I feel like it came about naturally because I wasn't trying to force it. I just let myself do whatever I wanted, and over time it just developed to be my journal, poetry keeping, media tracking space. So I kind of call it my reading companion because I often have it with me while I read and write down initial thoughts, and like you saw, I'll track all those reading stats in here so I can update my reading journal easy. And then I've been doing a good job writing in here more, which again was like the point of it, is that I just have a free space to write, but that is structured and feels, I don't know, kind of special and not a huge blank empty page. That's like a little overwhelming for me sometimes. I need to catch up on this day. But yeah, this is how I've been using it, and so far really liking it. Sometimes I am at my desk with all my stickers and I decorate more, and sometimes I'm not, and I can come in here later and add decoration, or I can just not decorate at all. I'm really liking to keep this journal simple and like low barrier to entry, and that's why I'm thinking maybe a monthly memory keeper would pair well, because I could be in here daily writing about my feelings and my thoughts, and then just have a monthly memory keeper, kind of like my reading journal, but instead of writing about books, write something about the month and have key pictures that I want to remember in there, and do a lot of like decoration like I like to do. I feel like that would kind of scratch my collaging itch every now and then after I do my reading journal. I wish I had another place to collage more. So if you have any advice or ideas on where I should keep that memory keeper, I'm thinking maybe a ring binder. I'll pop up some pictures to show you what I'm thinking, or just a bullet journal like my reading journal. And yeah, the only thing about a bullet journal is it has so many pages, and I would only be filling it in monthly, and then maybe some months like an extra like fashion inspired like collage or something when I want to do an extra spread. So I'm kind of liking a ring binder because I feel like I could fill it up with a year's worth of spreads, and then when I'm done I could take them out and keep them in like a cheap storage ring binder, and then over time have these like little scrapbooks in ring binders. And I'm saying little because I'm thinking like personal size, maybe this size, maybe a little bigger, and this would be a really pretty cover to do the memory keeping in. But I am liking it for my job as well, so that's why I'm thinking of maybe getting another one of these. I just really love the leather. It's really nice quality. I love the spine being this brass, pretty engraved spine. Yeah, it just feels really nice, and I like that's not too bulky. So anyway, I might use this for memory keeping, or just get another one because like I said, I've been liking this for work a lot. So yeah, that is what I've been using this for, and I have a lot of thoughts about what I'll do for my memory keeping. But also, if I do monthly spreads, I would only need to do January and February. I wouldn't feel like so behind. And again, I feel like at the end of the day, I don't have pictures that I really want to remember from each week, but I usually have pictures I want to remember from each month. And I think the weekly plus memo, I just started getting to where I was tracking my media in here, and I'm writing in here, not necessarily about my day, but each day I'm writing about something that I want to write about. So I just felt the weekly plus memo I didn't really need, and I might make a more, I don't want to say traditional scrapbook, but kind of more a traditional scrapbook, I guess, in the sense of photos and captions and just like pretty decoration. So anyway, I'm rambling a lot, but I've been loving this journal, and I'll show you there's some blank spreads in the back, or pages, I guess I should say. I just put this Hobonichi Weeks pencil board back here to kind of be my bookmark. And then this is my spread in the back I'm using for my TBR. So I might do these seasonally, but for now I'm just keeping a big one. And if you can't tell, I started on this page and then decided to make it a 2-page one. So that's why this page is filled out and not this one. I was quickly getting to the bottom, so I just decided to make this whole spread my TBR and decorated it just a little bit. And this is where I'm putting books that I really think I will like. So I write down a bunch of books in my phone, just in my notes. But then if I hear like raving reviews from someone that I really view as having a similar taste in books to me or something, I'll bump that book up to like a higher priority, and then I'm keeping track of them in here. So I have This Is How You Lose the Time War by Max Gladstone and Amal El Motar. I have The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. And honestly, a lot of these books that are in here are from Chris and Mads. They have a channel here on YouTube, and they do a lot of book content, and I really like both of their taste. They're sisters, and I really like both of their taste in books. So a lot of these recommendations are from them and their favorite books of 2025. So definitely check out that video. But that's where I'm keeping my TBR. And so overall, this is like very much a little reading companion. I love the B6 size. That's kind of how all of this started, and how I got this forest planner is that it's B6 sized, but I'm so far loving it. And then I just wanted to show you up after the monthlies, there are a few blank spreads, and I'm using those for ink swatching. So that's what I have over here. And then at the back, I added this Leuchtturm waterproof or weatherproof or something. That's why it has this symbol. But I got it because it is B6 size. It's actually B6 plus, so it's like a little bit, it's like the exact size of my cover. It's a little bit bigger than this true B6 you can see. It's actually kind of significantly taller. But I got it to just be like a nice bullet journal. So I could do the memory keeping I was talking about in here. But again, I'm only going to do every month or so, so a lot of years would fit in here. And then it might get really, really chunked up if I'm doing the collage style memory keeping. So that's why I'm leaning towards a ring binder. But if you guys want to see when I decide on where to do my memory keeping, if you want to see it, let me know. I'd be happy to show that, and I'm pretty excited about the ideas I have. But then yeah, you can just see I'm doing stream of consciousness and dividing it by these little plain little tick marks. When I come back in here after a pause, I just do these tick marks and start writing again. But yeah, really nothing crazy in here yet. I actually might take it out and just leave it in, and just leave the forest planner to keep it really simple. But I honestly just wanted to have a little extra something for writing when I want to write a lot, but also because it is helping form my leather cover. My leather cover, I made it and I posted a video of me making it, and I think the extra like chunkiness was just helping it form its shape, so I put that in there, and I've been liking it so far. But yeah, I also like that it has these green bookmark ribbons, and they hang out, and it just kind of makes it look, I don't know, for some reason I like how that looks, especially the green with the purple. It just looks kind of like a book. But yeah, that is my not so brief update on my journals and planners, but it's because I had a lot to update you guys on. Sorry, I'm never very short-winded. I'm quite long-winded, but hopefully you guys don't mind. If you want me to do a regular update of any of these, let me know, because so far I'm doing them all in one video because I don't really know what everyone's interested in seeing. I don't know if you prefer like planners or if you like more of the diary style reading companion updates. But yeah, I just thought I would update you on all of them, and then we can go from there. You can let me know what you want to see. And I do love my traveler's notebook, so I'm going to at least use it for the watercolor insert for now, and or a sticker release paper or something. I definitely still love my traveler's notebook, so I want an excuse to be able to open it and, you know, feel it and touch it and use it and all of that. But so far, these are what I'm using regularly, and I'm really happy with them. Life planner, media tracker, and diary, and work and finance planner. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Comment and let me know what you want to see next, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.